traveling between Utah's southern national parks in late March. How did it go? We were traveling by car, staying in motels, no RVs on this trip. Our first significant drive was after leaving Arches National Park, driving to Springdale, which is near Zion. It's about a 5-hour drive. You drive north from Moab and catch Interstate 70 heading west. There's not a lot of traffic or population on this part of I-70. So fuel and food are going to be far between. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour in the flat stretches, and of course they decrease it when you get up into the mountains. We were traveling in our rental Chrysler Pacifica minivan. It was fine for the two of us. It'd be great for four, plenty of luggage in the back, space for luggage in the back. When we were in Moab, we went to the city market and stocked up on picnic food and drinks. All the Hampton Inns and Homewood suites we stayed on in our trip had refrigerators in the room. Plus, these hotels had ice machines, which enabled us to put some ice in our ice bag every morning to keep the picnic supplies and drinks cool. We had reservations that night at a Hampton Inn in Springdale, but really no plans for lunch. We had our picnic supplies, so we thought we'd stop at an overlook. I had read somewhere there was a state park, a small state park along I-70, so we thought we might be able to explore that if we could wait to eat until we came to that location. A dip in the snack bag helped us hold off until we could get to the state park.
Oh, I've been traveling down the road with no place to go, no place to go. Pockets filled with holes, money's running low, truck is moving slow, and I keep growing old 'cause I've been traveling.
The exit to the state park was well marked on the interstate, so we thought we'd give it a try.
Down the road, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. Yes, I've been traveling down this.
We noticed on the sign that there was an RV section to the park, which we did not explore, but that might be something to keep in mind if you're traveling on I-70, to have a state park with RV sites so close to the interstate.
Wake up to a faucet leaking, dog's barking, so I'm leaving.
As you can see here, the entrance to the park is very close to the interstate.
I keep on shouting down the road, down the road. No place to go.
There's a $10 day use fee per vehicle to use the park. So there's a museum, gift shop. You go inside and pay your $10, and you can use the bathrooms, check out the museums, and they give you a map of all the hiking trails in the area. As you can see, there's car parking and parking for a couple RVs. This is on a weekday, late March, so it wasn't too crowded. We used one of the shaded picnic tables for lunch. We carried with us on this trip a collapsible ice bag. I got a little video to show you how it works. This is the ice mule cooler, inflated. This is the ice mule cooler when it's deflated. I'll turn it on the side, maybe you can see how flat it is. Again, it's pretty easy to pack in a duffel bag, suitcase. Then when you get out on your adventure, you just take it out, inflate it, and add ice and food and drinks, and you're ready to go. We took a short hike while we were there, and I got to check out this pit house recreation. The ladder was sturdy, and there were no snakes, using this as a place to winter. We were glad we stopped at the state park for the picnic lunch. Did not try to do have some fast food at a truck stop. We filled up. The traffic was much heavier, and we hit 15 south. 40 cents a gallon. We checked in plenty of time for a walk around the village and eat dinner. If you hadn't already, you might want to check out our video on Zion National Park. After leaving Zion, we took a side trip to Coral Pink Sand Dunes State Park. There's a day use fee per car for using the state park. There are bathrooms, picnic tables. The most popular activities were sandboarding, like snowboarding but in the sand, and riding ATVs in the sand. There are 2 campgrounds that accommodate big rigs. I estimated about 75% with toy haulers that brought ATVs to ride in the dunes in the park. You can rent sandboards and ATVs to ride in the park. A very unique and unusual state park. There are no food or restaurants close by. If you're going to spend the day riding ATVs, one of the rental places, you probably want to bring a picnic. If you're camping, you want to be well supplied. It's a long run to town. After the state park, we headed to Kanab, where we had a reservation for the night. After checking in, we decided to check out the Cowboy Set Museum behind a gift shop. Back in the day, production companies used Kanab as a home base while filming cowboy movies out in BLM land. It's a movie set from the outlaw Josie Wales. It's not made out of adobe, it's really made out of fiberglass. Pretty cool. On the trip, I took some photos, and then I converted them to black and white. You definitely get the cowboy movie feel. The best meal we had on the trip was at Vermilion 45, a country French restaurant run by expats from Belgium. The next morning, we left very early for a drive to Bryce Canyon, about an hour and a half drive, 70 miles. We have a video on Bryce Canyon that starts with breakfast in the area. After a scenic but very cold day at Bryce Canyon, we drove from that area to St. George. We spent the night at a Hampton Inn South, which is close to the airport, and highly recommended. We left the hotel about 3:15 for a United flight to Denver that put us there at dawn. We flew into Moab and flew out of St. George, which saved time. Alternate adventures to consider is flying to Las Vegas or renting a car, a Class C RV, a Class B camper van. If you have the budget and the time, it'd be easy to spend 10 days to 2 weeks in the area and include a trip to the Grand Canyon. This would also allow a trip to the Capitol Reef National Park, which we missed. Traveling in late March had advantages and disadvantages, trade-offs. It was not as crowded. We did not have to secure reservations to get in the national parks. We avoided the summer heat, but we did encounter winter at higher elevations. Bryce Canyon National Park was only partially accessible. The day after we left, a snowstorm came in and hit the higher elevations in southern Utah. Friends and family who are considering a trip, we hope these videos will give you a starting point to plan your adventure.